would you recommend today that President Obama take in regards to the Israel-Hamas war? And I'll ask Mr. Hobbs to start.
Thank you. I think the very first thing that we must do as a country is be there to support Israel. One of the very first things I did last week, and I believe I'm the only candidate that actually went out and put out a public statement saying that Israel has the right to defend herself. What will we do here in the United States if rockets were coming from Windsor, if rockets were coming from Mexico? We wouldn't check in with anyone to ask if it's okay for us to protect ourselves. Israel has a right to defend herself. And that is my ultimate belief. And I believe as a member of Congress, you will be able to count on me to not only stand up and support you, but be a leader on that issue. To make sure that I'm bringing other people and make sure that other Congress people are just as passionate as I am about making sure that Israel has the right to defend herself. I think that's what we have to be about over these next several weeks as Israel continues to defend herself in the Middle East.
Mr. Clarke, you can go next.
This is not an academic question for me. A couple reasons why. I visited Sturrow. I had to look in the eyes of mothers whose children were maimed by rockets fired by Hamas from Gaza. And that's why when House Resolution 270 came up, I co-sponsored it to stand by Israel's right to always defend itself from any threat. So that's something that I would reinforce. And then to make sure that the borders that Israel has are recognizable, are secure, and are defensible. Furthermore, we've got to be more committed to the security assistance of over $3.1 billion a year to Israel. Also, we need to go squarely at Hamas. They're the problem. They're the terrorist organization. They have yet to renounce violence, and as you can see why. They have not even allowed Israel, not even recognized Israel's right to existence. We've got to pressure the Palestinian Authority, break that agreement that you have with Hamas, and show that you're willing to negotiate in good faith. And then finally, the funder of all these weapons, I believe, Iran, Congress needs to vote immediately to increase those sanctions on Iran to not only get it to stop its nuclear capability, but to roll it back and to roll it back permanently. Only Congress can do that. You know why? Because I was in Congress when we voted for the sanctions. The president can't do it. Only we can. You can count on me to stand for Israel and to defend its right to defend itself. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Large.
The question was, what would you say to the president? How would you advise him? And what do you want the president to do? Well, number one, the issue is common among all of us. Israel has the right to defend themselves. But in the United States, our president needs to understand we have a common enemy with Hamas. In Iran, if they get nuclear weapons, that is a threat to all of us. The one thing I would really push with our president is strengthening our support of Israel, strengthening our allies that we need so that we are all on the same page. And that threat of nuclear weapons is not an Israel issue. It is one that is United States must be very strong on. And I had the opportunity to travel to Saudi Arabia and sit in the living room of a billionaire talking to one of the crown prince of Saudi Arabia. And he challenged me as a mayor and said, the problem I have with the United States is that you are with Israel when they're right and you're with Israel when they're wrong. As a mayor, I stood up and said, I will never discuss our relationship with Israel. And that is something that's never negotiable. If you want to talk about what you think is right or wrong, we can have that conversation. And after I stood up in Saudi Arabia as a mayor, that conversation changed. But if I can do that as a mayor, I will continue to stand strong. Attending the conference of AIPAC, learning more, visiting Israel, I will continue to be a friend, a supporter, and a fighter.
Thank you very much. Just a reminder, the blue cards that you've got, if you have questions, please write one